Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to FRS Season 7. It is time for round 11 of 13. We head for Division 2 to Monza, the Temple of Speed here in Italy. 7.9 kilometer, or 5.79 kilometers around. I can speak. And only 11 corners, and most of them caught up in chicanes. The Rettifilio, the Della Roggia, and Ascari chicanes, big moments. Drivers will spend about 78% of the lap at full throttle, which is the highest mark of the season. Now, the Rettifilio chicane, turns 1 and 2, your big action zone down the pit straight, is where you're going to see a lot of the overtaking attempts happen. And then after Curva Grande, no DRS, but a big slipstreaming opportunity. Turns 4 and 5, the Della Roggia chicane is another huge overtaking opportunity before you head into the Lesmos. The braking zone into Ascari, not quite heavy enough, even though there's the DRS there, to really get a move on. Soft, medium, and hard as usual. One of the tightest dispersions of lap time that we will see all season. Only about a half second between the soft and medium, and another 4/10 between the medium and hard. So the hard's about 1 second per lap slower than the softs. 8 laps the softs will go, the medium's 15, the hard's 20 laps worth of life around the Temple of Speed. Not a very high degradation track, but the speeds and the amount you lean on it can definitely put some heat into the tires. Now let's hop out on track for our first flying lap of the session. We aren't expecting any kind of weather to get in the way, so once again, very low downforce being thrown on the cars. And starting our first flying lap of the session. So kind of a must-win race for us at this point in the championship. Just before the 100-meter mark, breakdown for turn 1 and 2. Get the car rotated and on the throttle as confidently as you can now. Full speed, hug the right-hand side, Curva Grande. Nothing to a high downforce car as it is. Just pitch it in, carry the speed. Find about the 100-meter braking point on for the Della Roggia chicane. Avoid those big sausage curves. Don't run out too far. You will dip a wheel into the gravel. Now into the Lesmos. A lot of camber in these corners. You got to try and get all the way down to that right apex for Lesmo 1. Lesmo 2, hop over that apex. Get out to the outside. Don't run too far out because that outside exit curb can upset you. Open the DRS once again as we head down the hill to Ascari. Find your braking point. Turn in. Take as much of the curb as you dare. Be careful getting off the right curb, pitch it out to the left, don't run too wide, carry as much speed as you can because there's no DRS down this last straight here. And then into Parabolica, tight start to the corner that opens up as you get on the throttle. Try and get the car rotated early and get your foot flat to the floor, hugging the right side as we try and shorten the line and go a 120.367 to set the first lap time of the day in this one. And we will jump back out onto circuit. Still holding provisional pole as we get ready for our second flying lap of the session. Out of Parabolic we come. Running a little bit wider to carry a little bit of extra speed that we can and open up that DRS as we head down towards turns 1 and 2. Some yellow flags up ahead. It looks like a little bit of a mix-up between some drivers letting each other through. But now out of the first chicane, we found about just under 1/10 of a second of time. And we are starting to catch up to this next group fairly rapidly. There's a Red Bull that I think is going to be kind of in the way if we're not careful. Now into the Della Roggia chicane. Try and avoid those sausage curbs that can upset the car so much. And we have found a good time. Get the car rotated much better that time through Lesmo 1, right down by the apex. And you can see just how much that camber plays a role. Now picking up some slipstream off of this Red Bull, which I don't believe was on a lap, but we did get a fair toe off of him. Now into Ascari, but we're a little deep in Ascari, so that's kind of gone and thrown away all of that benefit that we had. Off the line is Robin, who's not going to give us that, but we had such a good run down, and a big mistake in Ascari cost us probably a good 2-3 of a second. Now running out to the outside, a little wide we go on the final corner. And so after 2 purple sectors, we have really messed up this one. So we lift off, try and avoid giving Robin too much of a toe to start his lap. And now we'll jump back out on circuit. 3 minutes left in the qualifying session. Dog has provisional pole by quite a margin. Spen just ahead of us as everybody is getting out for their last laps of this session. So down towards turns 1 and 2. Get hard on the brakes as late as we can, as there's a Red Bull coming out of the pit lane there. A good run through the Rettifilio chicane. That's going to find us about a 10th and a half that time by. We won't have that lovely little toe that we got down into Ascari, I don't think. But if we can manage to maintain this, we should be in a good spot. It looks like somebody off the circuit, an Aston Martin through the Della Rosa chicane. Oh, matching it is one of the Red Bulls. So spin and sympathy a little wide through Lesmo 1. That's cost us a little bit of time, maybe not thinking totally about it. And that has cost us some serious time. We were up almost 0.3 of a second on our previous best, and now we're down to just about a 10th and a half up. Basically what we had at the exit of turn 1. So everything we did in the middle part of the lap. Throwing right away. A little early on the brakes into Ascari, but a better exit. And it kind of means we're all square and equal entry and exiting of the Ascari chicane now. Parabolica, try and get a good exit out of this one. Don't spin up those rear tires, which you can do even in 5th gear. We are going to find about a 10th and a half of time, but it is not going to find us any extra positional data. We could have probably gotten into the 19s if we had driven a good pair of Lesmos, but no such luck this time by. And that will end the qualifying session. Dog, our teammate, puts it on pole. We finish out just about a 10th behind Spenwolf that time by. Chronicle in 4th, Golly in 5th, and Robin in 6th. So all of our championship contenders all right in a little pack there. We've got position 3, which is the outside lane of the second row, which is where we want to be. So starting on the medium tires, much like everybody else, when we wait for those 5 red lights to go up and out. Going for the medium to hard strategy this time by, which seemed to be the quicker one. The hards seemed to do a little better. And also it gives us the flexibility. The hards could do about the entire race distance. But Robin sends it up the inside in turn 1. Spenwolf is sideways. We bail out off the track and pick up a track limits warning for that. Now, spoiler alert into the past, or into the future. We did have that particular track limits warning removed, so we are only at we have no track limits warnings at this stage because we had to take avoiding action. But that does mean we do have our teammate Dog in front of us, a Williams 1-2, Golly 4 seconds back. As we came now, Dog very wide off the circuit, hits the wall and cuts all the way across the track. We lock up, avoiding crashing into our teammate who just drove straight across the entire track. And now with a broken wing, what's he going to do? He's going to play the team game. He's going to defend from us. So on a day we really needed to make some gap, we had almost 4 seconds of the cars behind. Now he is defending for his life with a broken wing from us instead of playing the team game and letting me through. I'm having a look to the inside. I see he's going to just not pull to the side. He's got no front wing, so now I know he's got to cross the entire track to come into the pit lane. And so I have to lift off and go slow. So what was almost a 4-second advantage on Chronicle down to 2 seconds. We still set, fast lap because it's the first lap, but a huge amount of time lost by not playing a dangerous rejoin, and B, just not playing the team game at all. So I was feeling very confident in my pace though, so I was burning quite a lot of battery. Let's just open that gap back up to Chronicle. I believe Gali had to come in for some damage as well as a result of that turn 1 kerfuffle. But we are now starting to open the gap back up to the group behind. So Chronicle now 2.7 seconds back, and we are still burning quite a bit of battery, setting some quick laps to try and put the, make a statement on the field here now. We've got some clean air to run in. I was feeling very good about how the race had started, all things considered. My teammate nearly taking me out on 3 occasions in the first lap, but it's how it goes. It's how it goes. So as we hit Parabolica now for the second time, you can see we got that gap back up to 3 seconds. So we were about a second quicker than Chronicle on that last lap. We go to a 22.658 for our second lap of the race. And now we can start to drive and regen that battery a little bit so we can have something to burn during in and out laps around the pit stop window. Of course, this is Monza. We are expecting that there could be some safety car action for sure in this one before the end of it. So we are still trying to continue to open up the gap. More gap we can open up. Maybe we get a free pit stop under safety car conditions where we don't have to choose between the stop and track position, as I've had to do so many times already this season. Baku, Canada, the big examples of it. But realistically, 3.4 seconds now the margin, and the contenders, Chronicle, Robin, Gali, all kind of well out of the way. Chronicle, of course, the closest, that Red Bull, but Robin and Gali well back, and we don't need any safety cars to help them get back in the race. Honestly, Gali is well back at this stage. We've got it now to 3.4 seconds the margin, so found in about another 0.4 of a second on that lap. Didn't really use as much battery that time by, but we are just kind of pressing and using our straight line speed advantage that we have. We are running quite low wings as usual, as you would expect, just like we did in Belgium. But 4 laps into this 27-lap race, and we are pushing. But it looks like there's local yellows. It looks like Robin has had another moment facing the wrong way on the exit of Parabolica. And he's going to have to work his way back towards the field. One of several championship contenders that are praying for a safety car at this point in the race. So we're getting close to about that 4-second margin. Of course, with the shake-up to the field, Bananarama running third, who did put in quite the effort pace-wise at Portugal. I don't think quite has the pace that we do around Monza this week. Shown some pace, so we'll see if he's able to work his way into it, although he's got Pathaman right near him. Peter Ward's already got a 3-second time penalty, so he's already had some off-track adventures. Of course, his could very well be like our lap 1 warning that could be removed, so we'll save the judgment till the end of the race. But we are creeping up 3.7 seconds now, the gap between myself and Chronicle, and there's local yellows, AR21 out of the session at the De La Roja chicane. So we just passed the pit exit, so we at least get past the safety car, so everybody will be to a delta. So at this point we can go on to the hard tire. The hard tire can do just about the entire race distance around Monza. It could literally do the whole thing front to back. So we're going to go ahead and slap on the hard tires now. Go to the end of the race. We've got a healthy margin. Peter Ward 13 seconds back. I don't know if he will. He may come out just ahead of us in the pit sequence. Of course, he is Chronicle's very stalwart teammate. And he's going to use those hard tires to stay out in front and try and secure the race lead and hold up the rest of us who make a tire switch, the quicker drivers, and bring his teammate Chronicle back into contention. So we are just kind of driving to the delta. Everybody's passing it. But this is what drivers like Robin and Gali needed badly. They will get themselves right back into the mix here. As will our teammate Dog, who has had some off-track adventures so far in this one. So coming around Parabolica, the final corner. Just have to be careful about the delta. Make sure we are green before we head to the pit lane. Now we can pretty much floor it. And into the pit lane we go. Don't pick up a speeding penalty. And we are going to go ahead and slap on a set of those hard compound tires and see where we come out. It looks like few cars staying out on track. Panorama and Pathaman staying out on circuit, as is Peter Ward and Zhao. So a lot of drivers opting, even though they are on the medium tire, to make that stop. So we are shuffled down to 5th place. We've got Chronicle and our teammate Dog in 7th at the moment. And I expect Dog might make a pit stop. But we'll jump ahead now as the safety car is coming in. The start of lap 7. They kind of go and stop nearly get hit in the back by Chronicle, but that's given Dog a significant run because whoever led this restart did not lead it well. So I'm staying to the left. I'm not going to defend this position. If Dog wants to lunge up, great. Chronicle very late on the brakes as Zhao's locking up ahead of us, pushes us, hits the back of us, pushes us across. We get another track limit corner cutting penalty, even though we've come out behind Dog and Zhao. So Dog kind of moved under braking and pushed Chronicle off in that one, but with Zhao locking up in front of me, I think Chronicle just overdove that, and we've got some interests as Gali's hopping across the circuit in our rear view mirror. So we're down to 6th now with our teammate Dog in front, and that is just going to give Peter Ward a little bit of daylight to go. We really wanted to try and get away from Chronicle as much as possible, because if you give him an opportunity to see and follow and get a good read on some lines, he will learn that and pick up, and he's been very quick in the second half of the season. So we are trying to sneak our way through. I don't know if Dog has damage, but he's now dueling it with Peter Ward as they're going to go side by side into Parabolica. You saw I got on the radio a second ago just to check damage, and a little bit of contact it looks like between Dog and Peter Ward. So Peter Ward's sideways in Parabolica. That's a position up for us. We have to kind of lift to avoid a bigger incident and make sure we get through cleanly. But it looked like that Peter Ward trying to go up the inside of Dog, just a little bit of understeer. And once you get that front axle to side pod contact, your car just likes to spin around. So we're going to jump ahead now. Lap 11 of 27. Dog has made his way past Zhao. We are there as Pathaman off the circuit, somehow not retired from this race. So he's still in it. Just local yellows. We're able to continue on. And now we are trying to get up to the backside of Zhao. Stick with our teammate Dog, as he is going to start to reel in Bananarama out front, who has had some nice clean air to drive in. So we've got the DRS, though Zhao does as well. So we kind of need to, with the way that DRS trains kind of work around here, we need to either have a stonking exit from a corner, or Zhao's going to make a big mistake there. You can see struggling to get on the power. We're not going to burn battery. We're not quite there. I'm still trying to maintain my ideal of not to go for a move unless it's totally on. I'm trying to only go for 75% and higher success rate moves at this stage of the season. Earlier in the season, more risky moves just didn't pay off for me and caused me to overdrive. So figure if I can always wait for another opportunity at this stage. And he looks like he is about to fall out nearly of Dog's DRS range, still just about inside it. But we are sitting here charging our battery up as well, catching up to the back of the Aston Martin ahead of us, as our teammate is not actually making too much headway on Bananarama just yet. So Bananarama finding some pace, driving well at this stage, just coming up near the halfway mark of this one. And it looks like, let's see if we've got the exit we need on Zhao. Does he have the DRS help that he needs? His rear wing does indeed flip open, so we immediately switch off our overtake button, close our DRS actually, and a big old lift and coast. He's got a bit of a lockup, although that might be just a graphical lockup. It's not always a lockup when you see the cars online lockup. Sometimes they're just near the edge of grip, and it pops that ton of smoke. You do see that quite a bit online, but still barely halfway point of the race. I know that him and Dog, both on the medium tires, have yet to make their pit stops, as has Bananarama. Or Dog has made a pit stop, but those mediums won't get to the end, rather. So I know that Zhao and Banana, although Bananarama into the wall, off the circuit, contact with Dog as well. So they're both out. 2 retirements, another full safety car called in this one. So we do have a fresh set of medium tires available to us. And Zhao has to make his tire change. So he's in a good window to put on the hards. But the mediums, I know I can get them to the end of the race from here. We have that second set of mediums. So we are going to have the opportunity to make a pit stop, get a better set of tires on than the car ahead, and try and run away one more time. But Monza delivers another safety car. And around the final corner we go and get ready to pull into the pit lane. Now, if I had my head screwed on here, I would have gone for the overtake on the pit lane entry because he was so ginger on the way in. But it's a very short pit lane entry, so, you know, it's risky to try and pull the Sebastian Vettel maneuver there. But so he's going to pull in. It looks like pretty much everybody else is boxing as well. Gully and Spen, Robin, all making pit stops. So they'll all be on the same tire as we are. As will, I believe, Chronicle a little bit further down the order. So Zhao, kind of the odd man out on the hard compound tire. So jumping ahead, lap 15 of 27 for the restart. Just waiting for Zhao to put the hammer down. He's kind of gradually accelerating, which you're not really supposed to do. Because it makes everybody think you're going. Like he's sped up to 100 already. And now he's gone. So we get an okay launch. It looks like Robin has gotten a stonking good launch. No, that's Pathaman. And Golly right behind us. So we're just going to be eased on. And Golly slams into the back of us. We clip the wall. And that is front wing damage. So we're going to drive very slowly through the bollards. We rejoin. We get an instant 5-second corner cutting penalty, even though we've lost now 5, about to be 6 positions and have wing damage. So I tell the engineer, let's box this up. There's another big kerfuffle, and I'm just got to try and dodge and not spin out over the bumps. There's a big mess in the De La Rocha chicane. So we're back up into 5th, but I sent the radio call to the engineer because I wasn't sure how good the front wing was going to be. But as I was coming around the corners, I was thinking, well, what tires do I even have left? The hards I could probably put on and go to the end, but they're not going to be competitive at all. They're going to be very slow. And I have only used soft tires. They're not going to get to the end of the race from where they're at. So as the lap went on, I felt that it didn't feel awful, the front wing. It felt still competitive. And I thought that having the medium tires was going to be the best option for the rest of the race. It is a little understeery still. But we just need to try and open up a bit of a gap to Peter Ward, who I don't think was damaged at all. So that's why we're burning a lot of battery and, you know, driving a little frustrated at this stage because in my mirrors, there's Peter Ward once again, another car nearly getting into the back of me on the brakes into turn 1. But so, you know, three starts, essentially, the race start and 2 safety car restarts, and I've been hit and forced off track in all 3 of them. So it was a very frustrating race at this stage, and another bit of information in the following the race, I also appealed that instant 5-second corner cut penalty since I was forced off and I didn't gain any advantage from it, and that was also removed. So I have 2 of my track limit warnings to be removed, and also that instant 5-second warning, or penalty. So thus far, no time penalties actually for me in this one. But Zhao out in the lead of this race on the hard compound tires. Got some work to do. Golly now up into 2nd, having punted me completely off the track and out of the way. And Spen snuck through. Robin snuck through as well. So I'm pushing hard to try and reattach to this group up ahead of me just to try and maximize. I mean, I was essentially in race winning position at 3 different stages in this race after lap 1. After the first, when the first safety car went to restart, when the second safety car went to restart, and I've been kind of bummed out of all of them so far, and driving frustrated and a little annoyed and hard at this point. But we are reeling in Robin and Spen surprisingly, so the front wing damage not as bad as I thought. Still, it is a bit understeery. I think I should have been lapping probably about 7 or 8 tenths of a second per lap faster with a good set of with a good wing on, as opposed to this damaged nonsense that I have. But we're just trying to get back into the DRS zone, maybe see if anybody ahead of us will pick up a time penalty. At this point I was also thinking that Robin probably on the hook for a penalty for lap 1, turn 1. And there you see that was the 3rd track limit warning, that 3-second time penalty by virtue of my other warnings being removed. Is also removed. I did not pick up any other track limit warnings the rest of the race. So I did finish the race essentially with no time penalty added. However, Robin did pick up a penalty for his role in the lap 1 turn 1 contact there. Robin forced across the track, so he picked up an instant 5-second penalty via the contact with Zhao. Zhao's slow out of the corner here, and Robin did get that instant 5-second one removed, much like I had mine removed from earlier. However, Robin, like I said, did pick up a penalty for lap 1 turn 1. Gali did pick up a penalty for the last restart for punting me, and Chronicle did for the first safety car restart punting me. So yeah, a lot of punting of Quimby. I need that please no punterino sticker to put on the back. So Robin made his way past Zhao. We had to slow up a little bit to try and get our way through, so we did lose a little bit of time to Robin. At this stage, I'm thinking I have no time. I should have no time penalties. I didn't know while I was driving that Robin's 5-second would be removed, but I had assumed that he would probably get a penalty for lap 1. So we are in basically podium position, and also just trying to stay within 5 seconds of where Gali is as well, trying to push forward. I believe that he had damage as well. So we're going to jump ahead, lap 22 of 27. Spen off the circuit through Parabolica, nearly rolling back across the track. We have to kind of make an avoiding action, but you can see Robin has made his way past Gali. Gali carrying that wing damage from running into the back of me, not helping him out all that much. So Robin does go through. We do still, we're still managing to stay pace-wise with Robin, which is, considering a broken front wing, not too shabby, if you ask me. So I was feeling very confident about my pace this race weekend, and unfortunately everything kind of conspired to just run me off the circuit over and over and over. Couldn't really catch a break in this one, unfortunately. Luckily, none of them ended up being horrifically catastrophic issues, as there's another local yellow, a big kerfuffle at De La Roja. I believe that is Zhao who's had a problem. Chronicle carrying the fastest lap of the race. I had no chance really to get that fastest lap back because of the wing damage. But we are reeling in Gali here. And battery is running pretty low though, so it's making it a little tougher to stick with him. But here I was quite sure that he was having some serious wing damage issues with about 4 laps left to go. Now what I really needed to do is I needed to get past Gali as quickly as I could, because if Gali held me up and I fell outside of that 5-second time penalty gap to Robin, I mean, at this stage, I was thinking this is my only shot to try and win this race. So Gali burning a lot of battery down. We have DRS, but we're going to try and go to the outside on Gali here. He's a little better on the brakes. We're going to try and go for the up and under, but he puts the car perfectly on the apex. I have to delay my acceleration. I don't really have the battery to fight him at the moment. I had burned a lot of it just catching up this pack, so still keeping an eye. 2.4 seconds to Robin. I can be patient and make sure that I get past Gali cleanly. There's already been an incident with us, and I don't need another one that takes me out of a potential race winning situation. But you can see the time that's being lost to the Haas of Robin. We are now to 2.7 seconds, and a little tricky getting on that outside curbing. You have to be very careful with the throttle. So once again, down into a scar. You do have this DRS run, but it's not one you're really going to make unless you get a really good launch compared to them off of Lesmo 2. Really not going to make a move into a Scari unless you got a huge battery overhaul. So I'm burning quite a bit of battery just to, put myself in his mirrors and see if I can put him on the defensive. He's going to stay to the racing line. We're going to just lift, coast, and make sure to maximize our exit out of the corner. We've got plenty of battery to put the throttle down, and now we should be able to use slipstream, the momentum. DRS flips open. You can see just the speed that we have. He's got that broken front wing now, so once we get past him, we both got some damage to the front wings. I'm going to just make sure I hold him right here on the apex. Little delay on throttle, and away we go. We've managed to keep Robin only about 2.6 seconds out. So jumping ahead, starting the final lap of the race. Gali's still within DRS, so attacking distance. I've been using some battery to keep him at bay. I'm seeing that He's not quite close enough to go for a move into turn 1. I wanted to save my battery for the last DRS run down into Ascari. I knew that Robin wasn't going to put 2 seconds on me in the final lap. So we're just kind of conserving battery, not burning. If Gali gets close through the Lesmos, it's mostly fine, especially since I was expecting him to get a penalty. Even if he would overtake me, I was expecting a penalty out from him for crashing into me at the second safety car restart. But finishing on track is always ideal. You can see Robin now at 3.6 seconds as we're just trying to drive in our mirrors almost. So I'm dumping quite a lot of battery just out of the exit of Lesmo 2. Make sure he doesn't get anywhere near us, even with the DRS. No deep lunge or attack. Should have about just enough battery to make a little sprint to the line. So there we go. Battery is deployed for the overtake, a couple seconds, and that puts us to about an 0.8 of a second gap. Robin is going to cross the line first, take the checkered flag. We will come across second. Gali in-game will take the race win on his lack of penalties, but I am pleased to say that after the penalties for this race weekend, I did still end up with the race win overall. So we did pick up our 3rd race win of the season. I think this one was probably the more deserved one, considering all the nonsense that I had to deal with. But it does keep the championship hopes a slight glimmer alive. Still an outside shot, but a race win definitely helps out. But thank you guys for joining me. Only 2 races left to go in the season. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.